Welcome back to the Scare Guy Show, the official podcast of thescareguy.com and what we like to call the scarier side of the con guy, which is theconguy.com. We have now officially entered the haunt season. I think we kind of did that last month, so let's call it what it is, especially here in Southern California. But with all the major haunt attractions and events, with a lot of them, they're already getting started from coast to coast. But today we are going to focus on perhaps what I like to call perhaps ground zero when it comes to professional Hollywood caliber haunts, and that's Southern California, or SoCal as we like to call it. I sound so local, don't I? Anyways, my name is Jim Fry. I am one of your hosts here on the Scare Guy and the Con Guy show. I see that I have the Con Guy listed in my name there. I'll have to change that. But I have some, what I would like to consider some haunt season professionals with me tonight, and I'm so excited to have them with us. We'll start here with Carrie.
What's up? Super excited to talk about spooky season. And I agree. I'm like, it's been going on for a little bit, but the events are starting now. So we're all very excited about all that. And then we get another one.
Oh, look at that. Boo! There he is. Boo! Check out the background. That looks awesome.
I know. Fancy.
How fun.
Hey, everybody. Sorry I'm late. Had some technical difficulties.
No worries.
He was messing around with his background. Just joking.
You had a poltergeist interfering with your computer.
Yeah.
It's true. I think Mercury's in Gatorade and all that kind of stuff. So,
all right. We were doing introductions and we're up to Angela.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be back on here in the Scare Guy with the Con Guy folks. And I'm Angela Relucio. Thanks for having me back, actor, producer, and Halloween haunt enthusiast, and I guess expert, as Jim likes to call it. So I can't wait to dive into it with you guys.
Extraordinaire. And of course, we have one of our favorites as well. It's excuse me, a regular on the Con Guy show, helps to lead that show over there, but I'm so glad to have him over here. And who is that?
I don't know who.
Come on.
Just kidding. Coming to you from the great beyond, or mid-city Los Angeles. Hey, everybody, it's me, old buddy Ben Cleaver. I'm an actor, comedian, writer, director, producer, host, obviously. And like Jim said, regular on the Con Guy, but I'm going to try to get a little bit more involved with the Scare Guy. It's not my first time. I've been on the Scare Guy many a time before.
Yep.
But I'm getting more, as in my old age, I'm getting more into the horror. I just turned 40. So my back hurts. Anyway. So yeah, I'm excited.
To the better side of life then, Ben.
There you go. Second half is the best half. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Yeah.
right.
So
welcome everybody. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ben.
I was just saying, here we go.
No, you're in your second, third.
Second,
Aim for
third.
longer.
You know what? I'm gonna live to 120. Why not? Angela is a vampire who's going to live to be 900 years old. She's already
my dearly departed grandmother. She just passed away this summer. She was a beautiful, beautiful woman. 99 and a half. She almost hit that 100. She was she was just a couple nickels short of $1, same as Bob Barker when he died, which is kind of cool.
And Betty White.
She did it on purpose.
Well.
99. There's something about if we can all live to 99, I will be happy. I will be happy. My grandmother was still, she had her complete wits about her. So that's the way I want to go with my complete wits about me. But let's talk today. We are talking about SoCal haunts. And although we don't necessarily, most of the haunts here are a little, I don't know how you describe them, maybe teens and above, although we do have some family-friendly ones in here as well. But I know that you guys are very much into the haunt industry. Carrie, you actually have worked in the haunt industry before. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, I was a scare actor at Knott's Scary Farm for 3 years at Club Blood, if anybody remembers that back in, I want to say that was like
Club Blood.
Oh, it was 2008, 9, 10, something around there. Now it's been some time, but it's super fun and I love doing it. And I've gone to Knott Scary Farm every year since 2004.
Wow. Wow. I've gone with you twice, and it's always so much fun going with Carrie. She knows all the secrets.
But yeah, I
We
love
do.
haunt activities and this season and going to different ones and seeing how different places do such varied activity levels and opportunities. We'll
That's
say
cool.
that.
Angela, what sparked your Halloween fascination? Your
Always
haunts?
loved it since I was a kid, but out of all my friend groups, I'm always the official organizer slash producer, the producer and me, I guess. And also, I put together a Halloween activities calendar. I've been doing it for years. It kind of dropped off during, the COVID years, but it is full. It is like I take a sabbatical from life during September, October, and I tell people I'll see you in November, because then they don't, I'm so busy doing these haunts and stuff. So I try to find the links to these places, plus the best way to get in on the cheap. On the cheap. A lot of these are expensive, but I will find the discounts. I will find a good hack to go at a certain time. And that way it's affordable for my group of friends to go if we're going to go to do, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 things.
Very important. Yeah,
it really is, because they add up and you want to make all of them if you can.
And yeah, exactly. It's like you want to go to a bunch, but it's not like you have unlimited funds. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Plus, don't forget, when you're there, then you're buying you're buying the hot cider and whatever, the spiced donuts and all the Halloween fall, the things that give you the feels, right? So those all add up. But we want to make the best of the season. Like, despite the fact that it was 100 degrees 2 weeks ago when I did go to Halloween Horror Nights,
Wow.
we got to find the autumn in it all.
It's crazy to think Halloween Horror Nights started for here in Southern California. I think what was the first day? It was like September 9th, I think. Yeah, if it was like
they're getting earlier.
Yeah. In Florida, the Orlando version started the last day of August.
Yes, it was August 30th. I think it was August 30th that it started, right?
August 30th, yeah.
There's something like that. And then it started because I went two Fridays ago to the one in Hollywood, and I think it had just begun the day prior.
Okay.
But believe me, I thought it would be not packed, right? But it was still pretty packed. So I worry about for those who are going like really towards the end of the season or Halloween day. But we can talk more about that later. Yeah.
If I may, my wife went to Disneyland with her mother on September 1st. September 1st. And she was looking to buy up as much fun Disney Halloween stuff as she could. And a lot of it was picked over, and she was told they were not ordering more Halloween stock because they were making room for Christmas.
Wow.
On September 1st. So, like, in 2 years, it's going to be like, oh, yeah, we sold out of all the Halloween stuff on 4th of July. Like, it's
lame. I know that Target is that, how like there's certain markers. I don't know how it is where whoever's watching right now where you guys are, but like here in Southern California, there's some markers that begin the official Halloween season. One is when Target's Halloween decorations show up in the store, because people actually go. There's a network of people online who are guessing when it shows up, trying to get leaks of when they show up, because Target is the same way, Ben, where they will have all this stuff that shows up, but every time I show up, the cupboard is bare. The shelves are bare, and they say, we don't know. We might get some more stuff, but yeah, they sell it fairly quickly as well.
Costco was already having some Halloween and Christmas stuff at the end of August. It's like, come on. Yeah.
And you know what? Even and I don't want to say this. I wish I shouldn't say this now, because I want to go back and buy all the sale stuff. But even like I think it was at Joann Fabric, and their Halloween stuff last week was already on sale. So I'm like, how? Like on sale, as if the holiday passed already. So I was like, okay.
Well, we're going to jump into it here, but it is kind of interesting that for those of us who go to San Diego Comic-Con, the day after San Diego Comic-Con is when I start thinking about Halloween. But I can tell you this: I went into a drugstore or Target when I was in San Diego, and it was filled up with Halloween stuff already. So, that was July. So. We all sound like a bunch of old people. I hate it that Christmas is. What, I mean, that you celebrate Christmas before Thanksgiving.
Back in my day.
I don't think it's necessarily, oh, we sound like old people. It's just, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's the capitalism and consumerism of
is.
like, whoa, okay, we all want to celebrate, but
Yep.
like, let's slow it down just a little bit.
Can
It's
we
putting up-
please go ahead?
It's a full quarter before the holiday itself. If you're putting
Yeah.
Halloween stuff out in July, that's a full fiscal quarter beforehand. Like,
And you know what's
Yeah,
crazy is like I've
Q2.
heard that Halloween is now the most universally celebrated holiday in the public school system because because of you don't celebrate religious holidays that much. Christmas is still worldwide the most celebrated holiday, but Halloween's number 2, and it's catching up fast, and it's exponentially in the billions. And a lot of it's because of what we're about to talk about, all these haunts that is just adding up to the money being spent on Halloween right now is just far outpacing any other holiday except for Christmas, but it's catching up. It's catching up. And we are the reason. The 4 of us are part of the problem. So let's jump into it. Anyways,
Let's talk about where we want to go and spend our money. All right.
All right. So we're going to talk about
capitalism.
Yay. SoCal haunts. SoCal haunts, Southern California haunts. And when we say haunts, we're kind of a haunt is just an easy way to say a haunted event, a haunted house, a haunted gigantic theme park event. And Ben, why do I call this like a ground zero for Halloween haunts in Southern California? It's
Oh, well, we're in the heart of the creative industry, obviously. Yep. So I think that lends itself to a lot of people out here being willing to either be involved with something like that, per like Carrie, for example, as a scare actor, or for people who want to just go experience it. We're the even though a lot of work has gone out of town, we're still considered the movie and TV capital of the world. Yep. And the entertainment capital of the world outside of Branson, Missouri. But
don't forget Gatlinburg.
Don't forget. Yeah, and we have so much of that type of stuff that goes on year round. We've got theme parks, we've got the Renaissance Fair in the spring, we've got a handful of Renaissance fairs in Southern California, actually. And
we've got the oldest one in the country.
Yeah. And so the whole concept of a themed event is not unfamiliar to this area. And so, of course, as you were saying, with Halloween becoming so popular, of course, we're going to latch onto that because, again, like you said, people want to throw their money at it. It's fun. People like to be scared, knowing that they're safe. Like you like to go to a scary movie because nobody's going to actually kill you in a scary movie. Although I guess I shouldn't say that.
I'm knocking on wood between that and you saying you're halfway through life. I've been knocking a lot of wood here.
Terrifier 3 might kill you.
Well, I was going to say too, real quick, the Venn diagram of Ren Fair and haunt people who attend and work is almost a circle. So
wow.
There's that too. There's a lot of people that work. I remember who worked at Knott Scary Farm and then they worked at Ren Fair or attended. But yeah, it's just this, we all want to have fun and it's like, it's play, we're having fun. So let's start talking about
one more thing. Yeah, we do need to get into it because there are those of us here who have another podcast after this to jump on. But real quick, also the proliferation of Halloween, I think, also follows proliferation of cosplay culture, which has grown exponentially with Comic-Con culture over the past 10 to 15 years. Halloween's always been popular, but it has evolved from just a kid's holiday. It is now probably majority adults celebrating Halloween these days. The days of trick-or-treating is quaint, and I love Charlie Brown, but adults have kind of taken over this holiday. So we're going to jump right in. All right, Carrie, why don't you go ahead and start with a haunt or two here in Southern California?
Yes. So we have Universal Halloween Horror Nights, which we just mentioned a little bit. So that one has haunted houses, scare zones, and live entertainment. So that goes until November 3rd. So we're already into September. Universal City. That is one I have been to a couple times. Just get ready for long lines. That'd be my only big tip is pack your patience.
And Angela, you went recently.
I went, I think, at opening weekend, and there are tips and tricks, which I'm sure you guys know, but like, I'm not talking about a difference of like $10, $15 for if you want front of the line, those express tickets are hundreds of dollars
Yeah.
more. So if you want to get a
Ooh.
general admission, purchase the early access one for a $10-15 supplemental fee, and then you'll get in an hour and a half earlier than when the park opens, and head straight for the lower lot.
Yep.
Get those
Mhm.
out of the way, come back up. So
Are they
that's
doing back
the
in
trick
the
to doing
back
it.
area now on the back lot? You know how they sometimes they go in the back lot and sometimes
Yeah,
they don't.
they do have. I think they have two things that were there. Two special haunts. So yeah,
Awesome.
but go down to
Awesome.
the lower lot because it takes like 20 minutes to walk down there. Bang those out. I think there are 4 down there, and then come upstairs, get the rest of it done.
Very
You'll be able to do it. I mean, it's a crunch, but
And we're going to
yeah.
do a show talking all about Halloween Horror Nights, both Orlando and Hollywood. So we're going to be doing both of them. And one other tip for Halloween Horror Nights is if you are in the park and it is overwhelmingly busy, around 10 or 11 o'clock at night, you can buy what's called the half price express pass. It's not half price anymore. It's around 80 or 90 bucks. It used to be about 30. I used to, for like 39 bucks, you get front of the line pass and finish off in the last 3 hours, all the haunted houses. It's up there
Oh.
about 80 or 90 now, but that's what I do every year. I wait to see how many houses I can do, see how it's
Yeah.
running, see how crowded it is. If I think I'm going to finish, I'm not going to get it. But if I still have like 6 houses left to do or something, it's something to consider.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Six
What else?
Flags.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry, no, I was curious what else Carrie was excited about.
Oh yeah. Well, next one. I'm going down the list of ones. So Six Flags Fright Fest Extreme. So this is over at Magic Mountain and Valencia. So that goes also till November 3rd. And looks like their mazes. They have new ones. They got Trick or Treat, Saw, Army of the Dead, Conjuring, Stranger Things, along with several others returning. So I'm like, oh, they're getting some other nice big
They're getting
titles.
some nice themed, IP mazes.
Properties,
I think
yeah.
they joined together with Warner Brothers. I think Warner Brothers has licensed their
Oh.
mazes out to Six Flags.
So I
Well,
haven't
that
gone
makes
in
sense.
recent. I haven't gone in recent years, but yeah, when they said The Conjuring, I was like, oh, maybe they're really upping their game. When I went, it was more just like you could go on all the rides, and there were just a bunch of people, and then it was just like, oh, here's some fog and here's some scary stuff, but there weren't any like super impressive, mazes and haunts. So like, do you think it's a little different and maybe worth the go this year? I mean, you're
I'm
going.
trying
So.
to remember the year I've last went, but they had mazes, but they generally weren't. They were generic titles. So
Yeah.
this is exciting to see them get. Not that you need a recognized name to be good, but it does help with recognition and get people excited about it. My only big tip then for Six Flags is it's very hilly, so comfy shoes because that is you're going all over, and their mazes are a little bit like in different spots. And in the past, I don't know if they're doing it differently this year, you have a ticket for the park and then you have to buy a separate ticket to go into the mazes because the
Yeah.
park's a regular
Okay.
park, and then you get a separate wristband so that you can go into the mazes.
What if you're too
So-
much of a scaredy cat to go on the rides? So can you just buy the mazes, I wonder?
I-
Because I don't go on the rides.
That's a good
question.
question. I don't.
Right?
You'd probably have to ask that individually.
Yeah,
Check
I'll
their
take a look.
website. That's a good
I'm
one.
If
looking
anyone
for it right
watching
now.
knows, if anyone watching knows, please comment. Let us know what you think if you need to, or if
They
you're
are
scared
starting
like
a new-
me.
They are starting a new policy this year, and the new policy is if you are 15 years old,
You need a
or
chaperone.
if you're not yet
I am.
15, you must take an adult with you.
I'm a
Yeah.
smidge above 15, so yeah, we can.
You're like,
Well,
"Hey,
Six Flags
you're
has
18."
they've had lots of younger kids running around, which I'm like, that's awesome, have fun, but is a different vibe. We'll say that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the one
Oh, sorry. Really quickly, I did want to say I like that they're licensing with Warner Brothers because Six Flags has always had a licensing agreement with Warner Brothers because they've been using
Yeah.
Looney Tunes for years. So I don't
Yep,
know
yep.
why they wouldn't have jumped in on this sooner, but I think they saw what Universal was doing and said, "Hey, we need to jump on some of our IP to do this." And
Mhm.
that, of course, a really well done generic haunted house is fantastic, but something that's got an IP attached to it is going to bring in a lot more money.
It says they have 11 haunted houses and 9 scare zones. They are now calling themselves
What?
Southern California's largest haunt.
then
Oh,
they've
wow.
upped their game because I think I made a video I shared it with Scare Guy, but I know I made a video giving a review and there weren't that many. Like they
Mhm.
maybe had 5 at that time. Which
They
is
also have, did we say Stranger Things? Yeah.
yeah. So that's awesome. And then during, I don't know what time it's at, but they have like the heroes and villains. So they
Yep.
have some DC, scary, and they have their own sliders as well. So they have people doing that, which are also my favorite. So those are people that they could run and they slide, and it's just fun to watch them do stuff.
Yeah, and the 20th anniversary of Saw, they've really upped their game. That's just kind of cool.
They would make me inclined to check them out again. Of like, okay, because
I think it's
I'll
worth
be
a
honest.
visit.
Before it was okay.
You convinced me. I feel like Carrie, you did a great job. I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go this year. I'm sold.
I think I'm gonna go too, because I've never been to the Six Flags Scream Fest. I've always wanted to go to it.
With how much they've advanced of adding that other stuff, makes me far more inclined for sure.
I'm telling you, Carrie, since you have the floor, I would love for you to jump into the one where you are.
Yes, I was looking at that one. I'm like, okay, so not Scary Farm. So that looks like they're celebrating their 50th anniversary. So it says with over 50. I think last year was 50 because I have a T-shirt that says the 50. So this year they have 2 new mazes. They got rid of some. I think it's like 2 different ones. The hanging is back, which I was like, oh, okay.
That's interesting.
Yes, I'm very intrigued. And the thing that I was like, wait, where is it going to be? Because the area where the hanging used to be is this more different kind of acrobatics and music and stuff going on, like kind of that, I want to say multimedia, but I'm like, no, not that, but like, different kind of production stuff going on. So it looks like it's in the old Wild West theater that's right by the entrance that they used to do stunt shows in. So if you've gone to Knott's like many years ago, which I think will be a really great space for that, because it might be safer for the stunts, possibly. It's an interesting move. I'm excited to see it back because it was a bummer to have it leave, but
I was there the year with you. It was a few years
and they were
back.
like
the hanging, because every year they hang like a pop culture personality of the year that everybody.
It's a roast. It's all a big roast. Giant roast.
They're not killing anybody. They're just using the Western theme of the hanging.
Yes.
And the year we went,
I'm imagining all this. Where is this? Where?
Not Scary Farm.
And not Scary Farm.
Okay, because I was okay. Keep
going. Because the year we went,
you.
Carrie, they hung the hanging. The hanging was what they hung. In other words, the end of the hanging. And I remember the person got up on the microphone and said, "Hey, please, guys, don't let comedy die." And so it seems like maybe something was, I don't know, some complaints had happened. So maybe they'll have a different kind of show now. We'll see what happens.
I'm curious, because then I also wondered if maybe it was something with performers and kind of agreements too.
Maybe,
or what kind of setup they had, because it's a very elaborate set that they have. I'm excited to have it back, and I want to see it, how they're going to do it in this new space. I wonder also what kind of traffic pattern that's going to have, because it's like right when you walk in, you head to the left, and that theater area is right on your right. Similar suggestion to what Angela was saying for Universal. My other tip for Knott's is when you go in, go all the way to the left, like all the way down, because they have generally 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 mazes, depending on how they do their layout. They don't start until September 19th, so they haven't opened yet.
Tickets started just $59 too.
Yeah, theirs is a good one. Check your days, because that's the start, which is generally like the Thursday, Sunday prices. And it does increase as you get closer to the end of their season.
Dynamic pricing. And
yes.
we're going to throw it over to Ben. I would love to ask Ben a couple of these things. Which ones are kind of sticking out to you? But Carrie, before we throw it to Ben, you have a little bit of advice on people who are going through the haunts, what not to do, how to behave. Yes.
Well, I actually had another friend have this, and I posted, do not touch the people in the maze. Like, this seems like the dumbest, most easy to understand thing. Like, do not touch them. Yes, you can be scared and you react and you're like, you put your hands up. Totally understandable. But if you any kind of like you're reaching out to touch them or inappropriately touch people, because some costumes are sexy, they look really cool.
I can't even believe we have to say this. That's crazy.
Yes. Because I had it happen to me where I was standing in the maze and some guy wrapped his arm around my waist and started to pull me along. It's like, let's take you home. And that was not cool. So he got kicked out.
Good.
Somebody else, I was up on
the same guy who's heckling the stand-up comedian that everyone can't stand. It's mortifying, right?
Or another
Oh,
time,
gosh.
standing up on stage and some guy tried to hit my butt, and I'm like, what is happening?
Unbelievable.
So just don't touch them and don't hit them. If you are somebody that's going to have that kind of reaction, maybe you shouldn't go to those kind of haunts. If you're going to like throw fists or, you know, give yourself space that you're not going to be in a situation where you're going to get kicked out, because, you know, we're all there to have fun.
That's why my wife hasn't gone to any scare mazes in a number of years, because she will throw hands.
Which I'm like, hey, good reflexes on you, but maybe that's not the space you would enjoy.
And before we jump over to Ben, oh, sorry, Ben, did I interrupt you?
We had a Halloween party at our house, and our friend jumped out and scared Bree, and she punched him in the Adam's apple.
Oh my God.
So she doesn't necessarily do the scare. She's kind of interested in doing Horror Nights or one of them this year, but she's concerned about that.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just a reflex. It's a very healthy reflex, so it's good to be self-aware. But real quick, before Ben gives us some of his favorites, say hello to Lily. Good to see you. General Gilman, it was great to see you at Power Morphicon. I finally met him in person. And Andy, always good to see you, Andy. And Andy says happy 40th birthday, Ben. So and it looks like, what have you guys ever been to the Halloween thing at Pierce College?
I can speak to that. I thought that they had stopped it, but I'm talking years ago, I used to go to it yearly. It was just such a big open space, and they did a great job transforming it. And over where Pierce College is, it does feel like a real fall, like it kind of almost has an East Coast fall vibe. So Andy, if they are still doing that, I would love to know, because I'd be first in line. They did a great job.
Cool. All right, Ben, tell us some of your favorite haunts.
So for those of you, I'm going to give you a little inside information. I didn't compile any of these places we're talking about. Jim was kind enough, and Carrie, I think you did a lot of this, didn't you?
I did not, but I have covered some of these events. Way back when on Scare Guy, you can go check out our coverage of Queen Mary, which I'm super excited they're back.
Yes.
Queen Mary Dark Harbor, those videos should be on the Scare Guy of coverage of that, and it sounds like it'll be similar and built up from what that is. So
Shacktober is gone. Queen Mary Dark Harbor is back. Thanks.
Shacktober. That's a big diesel. So I just wanted to say I appreciate Jim, because Jim's the one that sent it out, so that's why I was crediting him first. But thank you so much, Jim, for compiling all these things. I love scary experiences. One thing that I'm excited for, and I'm so busy, I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to it or not. We were going to go to something similar a number of years ago in 2019, which, as we all know, 2019 was 30 years ago. But this one is called Macabre Manor.
Oh,
it is an interactive cocktail soiree. There's also one called, and I don't know if it's on the list, House of Spirits.
Oh, I don't think it's on the list.
It's on there.
It is on the list. It's on the list.
Yeah.
So House of Spirits and Macabre Manor look to be a similar thing. House of Spirits was the one that we were going to go to, and then Bree got food poisoning, and then the world shut down. But anyway, Macabre Manor is an immersive experience. It is a cocktail soiree. They have roaming characters. They have scare actors, obviously, that are walking around dressed as spooky characters. They have a strolling magician who will haunt your night with eerie charm and mind-boggling illusions. They have complimentary cocktails that are included with the price of ticket, as well as treats, including treats called fresh scabs and bat guano. But you can explore the manor, the Macabre Manor, and meet a ghostly family. And there is comedy, there is scares, or there are scares. There is a mystery to be solved. And along the same lines, when we're looking at House of Spirits, give me one moment. That is officially called a haunted cocktail soiree. Again, you can purchase tickets. You just have to Google. I would just suggest Google, Macabre Manor. That is.
Wait, I'm going to put the link to every one of these haunts with the video, so you make it easy for everybody.
Yeah, perfect, awesome. Also, Macabre is Macabre. It's not macabre, it's macabre. But House of Spirits, they're actually, are they seriously? I think they're doing it at Casa Vega, Jim.
Are they really?
Let me see here. Info, location.
Oh, I'm
Oh
looking.
no, it's in the Nocturne Theater. I don't know why they.
Oh, that's right here in Glendale. That's
Glendale.
very cool.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know why it says maybe Casa Vega is doing
Providing the
the
spirits.
cocktails. I don't know.
I'm gonna
But
find
anyway, it again is another macabre, immersive cocktail soiree experience. You can freely roam around. It's not a guided tour. It's not a maze that you walk through. It's a sandbox experience for those of you gamers out there. You can kind of go around. House of Spirits has themed cocktails as well. Roaming specters, live music, immersive environments, a giant Ouija board, which I will stay 10 miles away from. So
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, in my house, we love our spooky, scary stuff, but Ouija boards we do not touch. So
That is a no-no for everyone. And if
No-no.
it's giant, I wonder if that attracts if it's like 10 times
Giant
bigger,
spirits.
will it attract 10 times more spirits? That's what I'm wondering. But not wondering enough to go and partake.
Just a 45-foot tall ghost. It's
Yeah.
terrifying. So those are two that I'm particularly excited about. Don't know if I'll get to go, but I like the idea.
Ben, you
Do you
are
have
correct.
to
It does
be-
say it's Casa Vega, but it's at Nocturne. So I guess maybe Casa Vega is hosting the cocktail portions over at the Nocturne Theater. That's interesting.
But is it attractive for people who love the haunt part of it versus the drinking part of it? You know, like, will someone who doesn't necessarily drink a lot enjoy it as well, or is
I
it
don't
more
think
like a
there's
boozy festive thing?
Yeah, I don't think that's the case. I think the cocktail soiree is more of the theme. I do believe, if I recall correctly, when I got the tickets years ago, there were non-alcoholic options. So it's not, you can still get a fun-looking drink that's not alcoholic if you're not a drinker. It's more about the environment of the cocktail party, so to speak.
Okay.
And it's dress. They encourage everybody to dress elaborately in the spirit of the times. Yeah, so it's going to be an immersive experience. I think the cocktail is just the bones that hold it together. It's just kind of like the through line. This is an immersive cocktail party, and spirits will be there, and a giant, Ouija board,
and a 45-foot ghost.
45.
Kind of off that one, but I have yet to get to go. But the other one that I'm excited to, have you guys ever gone to Delusion yet?
No, but
yes,
I really want.
That's the one I was going to bring up as well. I was there in 2021, and in previous years, my favorite year. Do you have a favorite year, Carrie? Because I
haven't been able to go yet. It's one of those I always see it. I'm always thinking about it. It just never seems to line up.
I will tell you, this is another one with a dynamic pricing. Basically, that means they just keep jacking up the price. So buy it early, try to go on a weekday when possible. Dynamic, it's a fancy way of saying, like, we're going to hype this up. But I will tell you, the years I've gone, 2021 wasn't as good as the previous year. One of the years they do a different theme. This is also immersive theater. They did something called the Crimson Queen, his Crimson Queen, or something like that. If anyone knows, please put it in the chat. Yeah, and it was a whole vampire family. It was a fighting, right, in a house. They had a house rented out, and I remember they take you from room to room, and you're part of the storyline. And it wasn't corny either. They had thought it out. It was well thought out. And then they took us to like this big room with a giant hall and this huge staircase. And then the vampires physically got into a fight, and one of them like hits the other, and the guy goes flying into a wall, and all these like bricks exploded. So he was like on a harness, like it was a whole show. Yeah. And then you go to another room, and then my friend got put in a coffin and dragged away. But it's not. It's not dangerous. What? I don't know.
No big deal.
This is he showed up in the end, but it doesn't feel it's not dangerous, but you feel like you're part of the action and the story. And I have to say it is well done. So it's another one of those pricey experiences, but I think that's on my to-do list this year.
How long does it go? Is it like an hour long?
I think like maybe 30 to an hour.
They have different tier tickets too, because there's a general admission and VIP. VIP gets you extended time there too. Because I was looking at tickets. So VIP, I think you get to go in earlier and you get to linger at the end longer.
And just real quick, this year it's an epic and haunting adventure. It awaits those willing to play their part in Delusion's latest interactive play. You will play the role of Dr. Frederick Lowell's most prized patients, found sleepwalking on the grounds of the Red Castle. Yet this time, when you awake, your memory has faded and Dr. Lowell is nowhere to be found. Sounds creepy enough. Angela, since you have the floor, why don't you tell us, because every year you kind of do, and I know you probably haven't put your complete list together yet, but you did talk about some haunts that you're interested in.
Yes, other than the ones we just talked about, I always go to Reign of Terror.
Yes.
That's in Thousand Oaks. That is well priced, well worth it. There's never a huge wait. If there's ever a wait, they keep the line moving swiftly. It's a well-oiled machine over there, and they do a great job this year. They keep adding rooms every year. This just gets bigger and longer and better. They have live actors in it, and they just have it. I don't know, so well put together. Definitely worth a go. I'm going to go this year. I've never felt the need to purchase the front of the line pass or whatever that is. For some of you, I've never felt the need to.
There's no reason for that. Outside of the theme park haunts, this is the most elaborate haunt I've ever been in, and it is also listed in USA Today's as one of the top 10 haunts for many years.
And I will say that it matters, as an actor, and I mean, I've never acted in a scare setting, but like the actors there in the haunt, they do a great job. Whoever the director is, or however that works, they have great timing. It's so important to come out and scare people at the right time without the group behind. I don't know what it is, but they do such a great job of just making you feel like you're the only group in that place.
Right. Yeah. When you get to see the scare ahead, and then you're like, well, and then,
So that's one of my
cool.
favorites. I have to say, that's probably the only one I never miss every year. The other ones I kind of rotate around. There's something on the list that you guys will see, which is a little bit different from what we've spoken about. It is the Zombie Joe's Urban Death.
Yes.
Now, Carrie and I got to go to a version of a Zombie Joe Urban Death once.
Oh, yeah.
It was very cool. I think
I've gone to a few.
Wait,
I saw the Easter one last.
Okay. You and I went through one. It was kind of a preview where we were able to get feedback at the.
That one was like, I think, Lights Out, but it was at Zombie Joe's.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't Zombie Joe.
Yeah, it's North Hollywood. If you are a theater fan or you studied theater, like many of us, this is like a black box theater experience where they just take one small room and they transform it into a million spaces all during that time. So they do a great job with all your senses. If the lights are off, you will still be scared because you will hear things or smell things. Yes, you'll have to just take my word for it and go. But all your senses are heightened and they're scared. So it's not just a visual thing. I'm telling you, and first you'll go through a maze to get to the theater and you will see some disturbing things. I'm not one for like disturbing things, but they
go above and beyond.
It's 18. The age range is over 18 is what they suggest. And it's for both gore and adult themes, and they have nudity in there. So you just have to be aware of it. But you
have to be aware if anyone here is a fan of like triggers or whatever trigger. You just know that I went with someone who's not only over 18, but he was over 50, and he's like, what'd you take me to, Angela? And he never came back.
They push some boundaries and buttons of the Easter one had some imagery that I was like, I don't know if everybody can see
it'll never go away. Once you can't unsee it. So if you're into like avant-garde theater, it's so scary, but there's an amount of disturbing things. And then I wanted to make, this isn't like sort of on the agenda, but I do want to pay a special tribute to, like, these are what I would call RIP. Like, so rest in peace for 2024. They're not coming back this year, but I do check them out for House on Haunted Hill is more like a cute yard haunt, but as Jim said, there's a lot of professionals in LA who know how to do decorations and like to take it up to that professional level, and they do a really great job. It's so House at Haunted Hill it's called, but they said they're not going to be here this year. So and there's another one which is Coffin Creek, which is out in Corona. I've had some really good years going there, but this year they said they had to cancel it due to some logistical stuff. So if you're planning to go, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but we have a full list of other other
Yeah,
things.
and if you are in Southern California, like Angela was talking about, home haunts, like Southern California is again one of the largest locations for home haunts because we have so many Hollywood artisans here in town. Go to SoCalHauntList.com. That's SoCal, SoCal, Hauntlist.com. It right now they have 14 pages of people who are doing super elaborate home haunts, not hauntings.
Oh.
They're not, yeah.
Tony Kim of Hero Within's doing
Huh?
one.
Have you seen
Ooh.
the photos of his being in progress right now as he's building it? It looks amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, I'll go to Tony's. Sure, he's cool.
All right. And we have about probably like we're going to try to zip this up in our last 10 to 15 minutes here. I'm going to go through some and you guys tell me if you've been to some of these. So Hollow Scream at SeaWorld. Has anyone ever been to that one?
No, but I'm kind of anti SeaWorld. Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry, not sorry.
Okay, well that's
Yeah.
fine. There's the Not Scary Farm we talked about, Delusion, the Red Castle we talked about, Magic of the Jack-o'-lanterns, a glowing trail of thousands of hand-carved pumpkins. This is great for the whole family. It's out in South El Monte, September 20th through the November 2nd. I do want to get out to this one. I've seen the pictures of it every year. It looks amazing. One of my favorites every year that I get to go to is the Los Angeles Haunted Hayride. If you guys have you been to that, Ben?
I
Many years.
I feel it's one of those. How early did you all go? Because I think it's one of those. It's a nostalgia thing that people really love it. It is cute. I just felt it after going to like Knott's in Universal and expecting that much stuff going on. I felt it was a lot smaller. I had a good time.
It's underwhelming.
A little underwhelming.
I'm going to say it. LA Haunted Hayride is sort of like the one. If for the people who don't love Halloween and they want to go to just one thing, I feel like that's their go-to. I'm just going to go to LA Haunted Hayride, and then they'll be happy enough. I do have to say they have a really good truck with like hot cider, so that part feels very folly, and it is in Griffith Park, so that part feels nice, cool. Like to be out in nature, which is nice. But and it's cute, and they have some acts on stage, and they have some cute things. But it isn't like it. Go if you can, but I wouldn't put it like if you're used to what Carrie said, like the other kinds of haunts that are higher in production value.
I'm gonna jump in as a little bit of an advocate for it.
Yes, please.
I've gone the past couple of years, and I for years didn't want to go to it because I was like, it's just a hayride. I love hayrides though, but I'm from the Midwest and the South, and we did hayrides all the time. However, the hayride.
That's how we got to school each day on a hayride.
It's only around $35. That's how we get to school every day. It's only around $35. You get the haunted hayride portion is a lot of fun. You go through the dark woods, through barns and stuff, and they have a lot.
It is cool.
They've really upped their game.
Cool.
But then they also have 4 haunted houses you go through that they've built, and some of them are really long and it's pretty cool. It's not the level of Halloween Horror Nights. Not even going to say it. Like they say, it is definitely, you feel like you're in a Midwestern cornfield type situation, and you're in the trees, lots of fog out on the farms. It's old-fashioned Halloween, and they tried to make it seem like an old-fashioned Halloween event. So if that's what you're into, old-fashioned Halloween, it's great, and I love it. I am going on October 28th. I'm kicking off Halloween week at the hayride this year, and I know the thing is, I know what it is, and we know what it is, and I agree with you. No. By the way, I don't think you guys were dissing it. You were just giving people this is what to expect.
This is the expectation.
It is better to go in because it's one of those. If you have, always keep an open mind, but it's good to have people have an understanding. No, I just thought of an event, and I'm like, wait, did you have more on hayride? Because I was like, wait, I have another one.
But I will say it is cute for like if it's like a date, it's a cutesy date spot too, and good for groups. So out of all of those, I would go and like if you had to go on a first or second date, I would go there.
I'm with Lily. Yep. Yeah. Oh, it's cool. It's fun. Go ahead, Carrie.
A bit of a trek, but I was like, oh wait, and then on the really low end of not scary at all, but up in Solvang and Los Olivos area, if you can come up to Central Coast, they do scarecrows at different businesses and they're themed to the business. And that's just a really cute way to walk around town and find them. And that's for October. And Jim, have you been able to see those yet?
I go every year because it's fall festival. I was supposed to be going
Right.
this Friday, but I'm leaving to Florida for 2 weeks, and so I was like, I can't. But
Jim, you
LA
go to
Comic
Florida?
Con. Imagine that. Yeah, I'm going. Los Angeles Comic Con is October 4, 5, and 6. 2 days later, in the middle of the week, I'm coming up there to Solvang and Los Olivos. It'll be a lot
Yay!
easier.
I
So
want to do Terry. We
love.
got to get our Solvang crew up there during all. And Jim got his wish because I remember when we were near Christmas time. We were at Christmas time in Solvang together, and you said, "I wish LA Comic Con would move back."
And they did,
move to
so I can
October,
go.
and then it
'Cause
did.
but I always go to
But yeah.
Solvang to get my pumpkins. I because they got all those pumpkin fields up there, and you go out into the pumpkin fields to get your pumpkins. But I digress. All right, let's keep going.
Yeah.
So,
What else?
Tell us. Urban Death Tour of Terror
We talked about that. That's his.
we already talked about Urban
we
Death.
said that.
Tommy
Yeah.
Joe's. Yeah.
Fear Farm Haunted Attraction. This is out in the inland. Fear Farm and Keys to Fear Productions are proud to announce they are joining forces to create the Inland Empire's newest multi-attractions theme park. They described it as something you could spend all evening at, and they have like 4 or 5 different walkthrough attractions. That sounds kind of fun. I don't know anything about it. One thing that I do know about is I've seen it advertised every year, the Haunted Car Wash in Anaheim and Lakewood. This is a product of COVID. It popped up because all the haunts were closed during the COVID years. So they said this is a safe way to have a haunted house. Everybody stays in their car and you drive through a haunted car wash. And it was so popular that they've kept it. I love this. It starts October 4th. Yeah, Ben.
That is clever. That's extremely clever and creative.
Wait, how do the actors how do they survive with all those machinery moving around? I'm picturing like actors getting drenched and like those giant arm things, in a car wash, slapping your windshield and an actor like falls. I don't know.
Well, you'll have to go check it out.
Yeah,
all of us here are
I'm going.
All of us here are from the film industry, so we do like to concentrate a little bit on film. There is something called Scream Fest. It's in Los Angeles every year. This is not necessarily a haunt, but October 8th through the 17th, it's a horror film festival that premieres a lot of horror films. Have you guys, any of you ever been or participated in this?
I can't recall. Yeah. It probably wasn't Scream Fest because that's definitely a bigger one. I think there was another small one called like Shriek Fest I went to many years ago.
It was run by Denise Gossett.
Yes, I did that one. But I any kind of horror film festival that's just horror films is pretty cool. Also, R.I.P. Big Bear Horror Film Festival too. That was many years ago as well. Mm-hmm. It's been gone for a long time.
Yeah, it was good. That was good.
Big Bear's creepy at nighttime anyways. Hey, have you guys, I've never heard of this because I'm not from Southern California. Castle Park in Riverside. It's actually
Castle Park is like their mini golf course kind of place.
I have seen it. Yeah, it looks like a miniature Disneyland.
Yeah, it's a small one. Actually, I was going to add the
isn't that the one in Sherman Oaks? Isn't that one Castle Park? That's a different, or is that one also a mini golf? The one that Jim mentioned?
I'm not sure. This one,
I'm not sure, but out by Riverside, I'm like, yes, I know that one because I went to UC Riverside, so I was like, wait, I went to that park one time for a birthday. I was going to add real quick on film. They don't have a schedule yet, but Animationist Film Festival is October 18th to the 20th, and it's possible they might have horror films. I don't know yet. Sometimes they have had them, so. If you're a fan of any style of animation from around the world, that one's in LA.
That's cool. But this Castle Park, they're transforming into Castle Dark. And it's supposed to be one of the large. It's kind of cool, kind of clever, kind of an easy name, but it's kind of cool. Yeah. Creep LAX Ghosts. This is something I'm not sure what this is.
It's another interactive haunt. I think I'm going to try to go to it. I did go to college with one of the cast members of CBS's Ghosts.
Yeah, it's themed after CBS's Ghosts.
Yeah, and I think that's a new thing because in previous years, Creep LA wouldn't have a partnership, I think, with an IP, with a proper, intellectual property or anything like that. So I think this is the first year that they might be, joining forces with something like a show. I think I might give it a shot. I know there were years where I went where I liked it, and then other years where I was just like, eh. So
Yeah.
But I love to, you guys, this is just all opinion and our tastes, right? So yeah, exactly. We're not poo-pooing on anything. It's more just like, what are you in the mood for? And everyone does such a great job. So it's more like where do I spend my money and time this year, right?
Let me just throw a couple more out there. Pomona Fairplex has Lights Out Halloween. It's a multiple haunts are going to be out there. The Haunted Harvest is a spine-chilling haunt experience featuring corn mazes, haunted trails, and eerie scare zones. That sounds cool. We'll have the link on our website as well. But also the 17th Door Haunt Experience. I want to bring that up for those who like extreme haunts. This is one where you have to sign a waiver, which means usually, I don't exactly know what that means. Sometimes it means that you allow them to touch you. I don't know if that's going on here, but the 17th Door Haunt Experience is known in Southern California as one of the more extreme haunts. We have a lot more on here. I'm going to go ahead and put them all in. I'm going to list them all. Oh, wait. I just want to say hello, Katie Kawamoto. Katie has another podcast coming up tonight. So she's getting ready for that. Otherwise, she would be here with us. But real quick, before we do kind of jump, Katie doesn't like all the gross stuff. But which is odd because Katie is a costumer and she has done makeup. Ben, you had something?
Well, I was just going to say, for those of you that are fans of the Con Guy family of podcasts who are watching the Scare Guy right now, in 1 hour-ish from now at 8 p.m. Pacific, we will be doing a Con Girls episode, which I will be guesting on. And we're going to be talking about the 25th anniversary of the 1999 cinematic masterpiece, The Mummy, starring Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz. So if you got nothing to do in about an hour, or even if you do have plans, cancel them, because we're going to be talking Mummy on the Con Girls at 8 p.m. Pacific.
It's wild that it's 25 years. Like, where is his time gone, right?
Hey, listen. So as we wrap up, Katie. Hey, Katie. I just saw Katie's name. She went, woo. But Carrie and Angela and Ben, is there anything else about this Halloween season here in Southern California that you could give advice about, give props to, call outs to? There's a whole lot here. I would like to say we also have a Disneyland here in Southern California, and they are having Mickey's. Wait, no, they're having the
Boogie Boogie Bash.
Boogie Boogie Bash.
Yeah, I think I don't know if they're still doing Mickey's Not So Spooky Halloween, but
they do that in Florida now.
That's in Florida now. Yeah. We actually have tickets. We're going on the 29th to Oogie Boogie Bash at California Adventure. So I'm excited about that.
I do want to do a quick call out, since Beetlejuice is like top of mind for everybody. There is the Haunted Beetlejuice Victorian Tea Parties happening out in a Victorian home. Where is it at? It's in Santa Ana. The link will be on the website as well. So that's just kind of cool. Anything else, Carrie and Angela?
I mean, biggest thing is arrive early. Give yourself more time than you need to get there. If you're coming from LA and you're going to Orange County, it's going to take longer than you think. You need time for parking, and it is no fun going through the theme park when you've just rushed there, or just, so give yourself plenty of time and make sure to eat something before you go.
Oh my gosh.
And drink water, because all the smoke and all the walking around, you get dehydrated. And I've definitely had friends drop like flies because they're not drinking enough water. It's like we have to take breaks, then you lose time. So it's like so drink your water and eat something
on the ground.
It's also Southern California. It's a desert. It's an arid environment. You're going to lose moisture from your body if you don't drink enough water.
And also, can I just say, this is one of the Universal Studios Hollywood. They for years they banned alcohol at Halloween Horror Nights, but they had it in Florida. And I remember asking the people in charge, I said, "What is that?" And they said that for the longest time, crowds were just getting out of control. So have fun, but just remember, people are working here and there's crowds, and it's a great time to have a lot of fun. But just don't get out of. I am not the nanny who's trying to tell you how to live, but let's just all have fun together.
Be respectful.
Yeah, be respectful. I'm going to have some drinks while I'm there, but I want to be able to remember the haunts that I am experiencing. Angela, you have your list, which is coming together. If you want to share it with us when it gets done, we'd love to to share it with everybody. Anything else from you before we log off here?
Don't forget the weather. It is LA, right? So, it'll be hot in the daytime. Exactly. You'll get all 4 seasons in one day. So you don't want to be standing online for 45 minutes somewhere and you're freezing. So don't forget about that. And good fun. I can't wait to go through these haunts with you guys and with friends. So.
All right. And Ben, anything else before we close?
I'll echo what everybody's been saying. Be safe, have fun. Remember, this is not about you going in there and trying to make it about you. This is about you paid money to go in there and be entertained by people. And so be entertained, enjoy it, enjoy yourself. If it's too scary, they've always got options for you. They're like, is it too scary for you? We can go out this side door and you'll be escorted by a gruesome zombie. But this is, again, be respectful, enjoy it. We're all people. We're all trying to celebrate a fun, spooky holiday. It's stupid to me that they had to take away alcohol because people were getting out of control at Universal.
But it's back. It's back now.
It's back. Yeah, it's back now, which is, let's keep it that way. If you like to drink, don't get out of control at the haunted house.
That's right. That's right. All right. And as you can see, I have started collecting my pumpkin patch, which is my favorite part. My favorite part of Halloween is the pumpkins. I'm a believer in the great pumpkin. I will sit out in that pumpkin patch. But everybody,
it has to be the most sincere one.
What's that?
It has to be the most sincere pumpkin patch.
Oh, I tell you what, that one in Solvang, there's nothing more sincere than that one. I'm going to post some pictures. Hey, you guys, if you get a chance, send us your jack-o'-lantern pictures. I would love to see them, your pumpkin pictures. I am such a giant fan of that. How about we go Carrie, Angela, Ben? Let's kind of close out and tell people where to find you.
Yes, y'all can find me online at Carrie D Lane. That's KARIDLANE across all social media platforms. And if you're a fan of other anime, geeky, and kind of stuff, you can check out my show, Nighttime at the Nerd Bar, which is happening in about a half hour. So that's Monday nights at 7:30. But so happy to be back here on Scare Guy. I love talking haunt season.
Angela.
Great. And guys, you can find me on Instagram. You can find me in other places too at Angela Relucio. And I'd love to connect, hear what you guys are doing for Halloween. And I am in a bit of a social media detox right now. So if I don't get back to you, sorry, it'll be a minute. And thank you, Jim and Carrie and Ben. Always happy to be here with you guys. You're not old. You're doing it the right way. That's how all the young people do it.
Yeah.
We don't do this anymore. They don't
This
do this.
looks cuter though. I'm sorry.
I think so too.
It looks
Yeah.
cuter.
Triangle. Anyway.
No, that's a planchette from Ouija board. You got to watch out.
Ooh.
Or you're like a little velociraptor. I saw that one. It's your velociraptor arms.
My name is Ben Cleaver. You can find me on all social media at BENKLIEWER. You can also search the hashtag BK421. I tag most of my posts in that, usually when I remember. And I have a link to my link tree on all my social profiles, so you can check out my website and different podcasts that I do and videos that I'm in and all sorts of stuff. And thank you so much to Jim, the con guy himself. And you can find him at James D. Fry, that's FRYE, or theconguy.com. You can also go to thescareguy.com, takes you to thescareguy.com. Right,
It's
Jim?
the scarier side of the con guy.
And thank you again to Carrie D. Lane, Angela Relucio. Thank you both so much. And for everybody here at the Scare Guy, everybody at the Con Guy family of shows, my name is Ben Cleaver, and the reason I'm drinking out of this red cup is because whenever Ben Cleaver shows up, it's always a party. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Wrong one.